Steampunk and supers? I'm in. Stick around, I'll tell you about it. Hiya, folks. Old Man Grognard here, and boy, do I have a good one for you today. This is Victorious. This is produced by Trollord Games, published by Trollord Games, I should say, written by Mr. Mike Stewart, editor Steve Edge. The layout and art direction are Peter Bradley. He also did the cartography. This is a fun book. This was produced in 2016. It's 144 pages. And if you want to do superheroes in the Victorian era, this is the book to get. Right there. Up there, actually. It's a fantastic book. It just blends everything in so nice. Let me tell you about it while I show it to you. This uses the Siege Engine system, which powers most, if not all, Trollord games. It's derivative of Castles and Crusades. And it does a real nice job of dealing with class and level with supers. Because, basically, the levels are optional. Now, let me explain that to you. I've seen this done before in like Mutants and Masterminds, things like that. But what they do is they give you classes. There's about 12 classes in there. But they also say, if you want to make your own or you want to roll your own, go ahead. Use the classes as kind of a template thing, kind of a guideline. And what they do at the end is show you how to do the experience progression with your character, because every class, let me show you a class here, every class has an experience progression here, and it goes up to 10 levels. And so with that and doing your own thing, you can build practically anything you want, really. And they're just really neat. The classes themselves, you know, if you want to use those they're more like templates. If you want to use those in yourself, that's great. If you want to say, oh, I want to build a paragon, there's a paragon right there. And it gives you everything you should break it down with. And this thing is just so immersive. The skills and powers are ready to use without oversimplification. Now, if you want to see, the thing with me on supers is, the big thing is customization, because supers are all about the customization. Now, they do take the advantages and limitations kind of thing, which is basically talk to your GM, and between the two of you, work out the powers. And he will give you a cost break or a cost addition, depending on what they are, if they're more or less powerful. But they do have disadvantages, weaknesses, which, excuse me. And it supports a wide variety of characters. In fact, reading this, I got to read this on my vacation. Reading this, I already got the idea for a super. So, well done, Mike. It's very immersive, well-researched. I didn't expect anything less out of Mike Stewart, because he is a scholar of the first water, the first degree. And it's compatible with other Trollord games, some more than others. Castles and Crusades, yeah, I guess so. You can import characters to the Victorian time or back and forth. I would think more like Amazing Adventures would work real good with this, because Amazing Adventures is just this up to, pushed up to the 30s and 40s pulp. Because this is, it's at its core, it's pulp. Superheroes at their core are pulp adventures. They did it in the 30s and 40s without superpowers, but they had gadgets and things like that. And this really has a good steampunk feel. Very good steampunk feel. It's got much my words fail me in how good this is. But it's got a lot of support on Google Plus and Facebook. Take a look at some more of it. It's very well laid out, very easy to read. And it just sort of walks you through. And They even give you like a bestiary in there about what kind of animals around in Victorian times. A great chronology and timeline. Usually, most most games that have timelines like fantasy worlds, I just kind of breeze through because it's just, I don't know, it's kind of gets kind of boring. But this one is neat because it's based on the Victorian era, and it shows you through the Victorian era what's going on culturally, politically, and other things, which makes it really interesting. And they kind of weave their campaign events in there. There aren't very many of them, but you don't really need very many for supers for this period because they got so much going on. You can't believe it. Plus, they have sample superheroes in there that you can run into as part of the world. I found a lot of them are like their supers from the modern times somehow got knocked back through a void or something like that into the Victorian time. And there are a lot of them. I'd rather do some homegrown stuff, but that's me. It also comes with a really neat introductory adventure called Hide and Seek. And it has to do with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and Moriarty. And yes, the more prominent literary creations are in here, like Sherlock Holmes, like Count Dracula, Professor Moriarty, and Colonel Sebastian Moran, who is always one of my favorite lackeys in the books. It comes with just everything you need to know. Oh, and designer notes, too. Mike put designer notes in there, which I really like. He's right. More games do need designer notes. Even if it's just, I've seen games like Castles and Crusades they do little boxes saying why we did this and why we did that or why we changed this and that. That's good too. But if they get designer notes in the back, that's even better. I like that kind of thing. All kinds of appendix, how to run a riot, because there were kind of a lot of riots back then. How to deal with things like that, natural disasters. Combat is pretty much straightforward, siege engine, D&D, roll for initiative, and go from there. Now, defenses in this book, it's pretty much, sometimes it depends on the defense. It could either add to your armor class or subtract from the damage somebody does to hit you. It'll make it easier to hit, but the armor will take care of it. So there's that. The one thing I don't like about this book, the one downside in this book, is the fact that the editing and proofing. I don't blame Mike. I blame Trollord. I blame whoever was proofing this, and I'm not going to mention their name again. But come on, guys. This is a professionally released book, published book. You know, if the third time I come up with see page XX, something's wrong. That should have been caught a long time ago. But that's the only bad thing about it. Go get this book. It's fantastic. Here it is. This is the hardback. It is a hardback. See, that's what it looks like right there. Where to get it? In print, you can get them with the Trollord Games. A hardcover would run you about $30. Maybe a little more. Yeah, $30. Print and PDF you can get for $35, and the PDF only for $19.99. You can also get them on DriveThru RPG and RPG Now for $19.95. So check it out. Victorious. Great book. Great thing to have around. And if you want to tell me about it or anything else, you can always email me at oldmangrognard@gmail.com. And until next time, bye-bye.